Yo, yo, welcome back. Today I just wanted to do something a little bit different. When I started this channel, I had some really clear goals and framework that I wanted to sort of operate within. One of the main things is I just wanted to be authentic. I wanted to be able to feel like I could be myself. I wanted to help other people build the confidence to start doing their own thing, whether it's making content, making music, getting a new job, whatever. Making the content, I found that the start was strong, I felt great, I feel great, but I just really wanted to create a piece of content and realign with what my initial focus was on creating the channel, which was being myself and everything like that. I felt like creating something and editing it made it feel less authentic, but that's just the sort of growing pain, I suppose. I'm still learning a lot of different stuff and how to get comfortable speaking to you guys over the camera. So it's challenging in many different ways. So that's that, I suppose. So this piece of content will be very raw and unedited, unless I stumble and stutter a lot. But I just wanted to have a catch up and share with you how things have been so far, which has been another core principle of the channel. I want to give you guys a realistic expectation of what it's like when you start a channel and no one knows who you are and you're starting something or a personal brand or a business from the ground up and you have no idea what you're doing, because I don't have any idea what I'm doing. One of my main focuses in making this channel was to provide value to people. I wanted to build something for myself, challenge myself, and I wanted to, sort of create a personal brand and a business from making my content. I want to monetize my content. That's sort of the least important of all of the main properties of the channel, I suppose. I'm of the belief that as long as I am myself and people trust me to be myself, and as long as I'm providing them with value in what I talk about, then if people find value in anything, they will pay for it, you know what I mean? So I think it's just one of those things where it's the least of my concern. But it is a goal of mine to obviously monetize my channel, and I'd be lying if I told you that it wasn't. I had to set some goals, right? So one of my first goals was I wanted to hit 50 subscribers on the channel. How was I going to do that? I had to release content, right? So I set a goal to release 5 pieces of content by March the 7th. I'm really happy to say that by March the 7th, there's going to be at least 20 videos up, right? So whether it's long form and short form, I've well and truly hit that goal, so I'm super happy about that. I also hit 50 subs. I had until the March the 31st to hit 50 subs, and I hit that at the end of February, which I was ecstatic about, and we're currently sitting on 100. And now the number in itself isn't the end all be all, but I set myself a deadline to put pressure on myself and be like, okay, well, how am I going to generate subscribers? How am I going to get people to subscribe? Maybe I should start doing short form content. Maybe once a week isn't enough, It really pushed me, and it made me feel like, okay, well, I think this is sort of under my control. And when I exceeded my target for March the 31st of 50 subs, it gave me that, oh shit, like maybe there's something to my strategy here. Went really well. Some other good stuff was I started running every day, and I started making short form content of that, which helped me up the amount of content on my channel and my TikTok and my Instagram, different ways for people to engage with my content. And then eventually, I think the coolest thing that's happened so far, aside from the feedback I've received, like, the people being very supportive, was I had a colleague come up to me that I've literally never spoken with. He came up to me and he said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And I was like, oh shit, done something wrong. And he's like, "Oh no, I just wanted to shout you out." And I was like, "Why is that?" And he's like, "Oh, I just saw that you're posting on LinkedIn, and you've been posting content talking about how you just want to get out there and do it, and you don't want to be embarrassed by your content." It inspired me to get back into running and to start my own YouTube channel again. At the time when he was telling me this, I was like, oh, yo, my guy, you know, like fist bump. And I was like, oh, when you do release your first piece of content, I'd be keen to be your first subscriber, right? And he was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, of course, man. And it wasn't until he walked away that I got really giddy. Like, I just sort of realized what just happened. And I was like, man, I've never spoken to this guy before. And he connected with my content in such a way that it inspired him to get out there. And then I realized that's one of my goals, is I want to inspire people. And it made me, even right now, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, oh man, I had the power to do that. It makes me feel really good. I feel almost emotional, which is strange. I come from a pretty rough place, you know. I talked about in my other videos, I was a drug addict for a big majority of my life. I couldn't hold down a job, and I never thought I'd inspire anyone. That was a massive win for me, and if you're watching this video, man, like, I really appreciate what you said, and I hope there are more people out there that I can inspire moving forward. Now, you know, not to put it on a sour note now, I think if you're watching this and you want to be a content creator and see what it's like in a realistic point of view, just someone who's breaking into it and isn't blowing up, it is pretty hard. I am riddled with self-doubt. I didn't want to share my content on LinkedIn because I felt my colleagues would see it, and maybe the senior executives would see it, and maybe it wasn't professional, or people would think I'm trying to be the next Gary Vee or something, and like, who are you, like, to be preaching about like self-help? And I just had all these doubts, and I didn't feel very confident. And I just realized after a while, I was like, man, like, screw all that. I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to be myself and do something positive for me and for whoever watches. I'm not going to let the devil on my shoulder or my mind like play tricks on me. I just said, you know, respectfully, fuck off, you know, like, fuck up. I you know, excuse my French, but I didn't want to buy in and let my mind win. A lot of that inspiration comes from my friends and from the content that I consume, like people like Gary Vee, people like David Goggins, Stephen Bartlett, all those really inspirational people that just say, no one cares, just get out there and do your thing and be consistent. Another hard thing that I've wrestled with is being consistent, I suppose, or the balance that shifts from consistently uploading content. I have a partner, I work a full-time job, I live quite far away from my full-time job. I'm trying to sleep better, I've managed to quit smoking, I'm trying to eat better. There's a lot going on, and it's been quite hard to find the time for everything. Of course, this is just something that I need to find the time for, so it's a process of figuring that out. It has been quite challenging, and of course, like, my partner has her own goals. I don't want to always be talking about my stuff. There's a lot of moving parts. Luckily, she is such an amazing person and has such a strong buy-in into what I'm trying to do. I think it motivates her to do what she wants to do as well. So I'm really fortunate to have such a supportive partner and circle of friends around me that push me to keep going. Doing that though, it's quite tiring. I haven't been sleeping very well. I'm up till 2 a.m. some nights editing things. I'm trying to find different workflows, practices in which I can speed up the content creation process. Like, how do I come up with ideas? Is there stuff I can do? And then probably the hardest thing that has happened so far is that in my 30-day running challenge, of which I think we're up to day 18 now, I did a weigh-in. On one of the first days I said I'm going to weigh myself, which I was like 94 kilos. And then halfway through I'm going to weigh myself again. At the end I'll weigh myself once more. And we'll see how, you know, if you're a runner out there or you're trying to lose weight, like, maybe this will inspire you. So I weighed myself on the 15th or 16th day, only to find that I don't think I lost weight. I think I actually gained weight. And like, it really defeated me, man. Like, I was just like, man, I'm not like one of those influencers, man. I'm not one of those content creators. Like, man, no one's going to listen to you, you fat piece of shit. Like, you know, and I'm just saying this, that's actually how I felt, you know, like, oh, like, how dare you, like, you know, fucking show these people or tell these people they can change their life, and you can't even lose some kilos, man. Like, you're slow, you're fat, holy shit. That day, I was down, man. The next day, I thought about what had happened, and I thought about everything I've achieved up until this point, and I realized now that I'm older and I'm more mature, I have a better grip of these things. I told myself, and I talked to my girlfriend and my friends about it, and they just said, this is part of the process, man. Like, you're not going to win all the time. Your whole channel is about being real. And I thought about it. I put my headphones on and I started listening to some Goggins shit. He's like, you're a bitch, you're a fat bitch, just accept it, get your shoes on and start running. So I went for a run and I smashed it. I didn't beat my personal best, but I came out of that run thinking, man, I don't give a shit what happens. If I fail, all good. If I don't hit my goal, all good. This is all part of the process. And if I give up at the first sign of trouble, then my ambition was never real in the first place. It was hard, but we turned it around. And then I thought about what that guy said to me. I thought about the comments that I've been getting. I thought about the 20 videos that I've made in a month. I thought about the goals that I achieved. And it made me realize that I'm not gonna let that negativity and that doubt mess with my head. And the funniest thing is I even made a video on doubt the week before that happened, you know? So like, yeah, it was okay, you know, it was hard, but we're back through and I feel real good today. So take from that what you will, but the point of what I'm saying is that you're going to feel great when you start creating content, and you're going to push through and feel amazing, and you're going to be inspired, but then you're going to have your first real challenge, you know, and you're going to have that first moment where your video doesn't get many views that you spent a week on, or you're going to set a running challenge and you're not going to lose weight, or you're going to have some really horrible times that you're going to have to put out there to the world. But that's all part of the process, and that's how I grow as a person. That's how we all grow as people, is by picking ourselves up when we fall down, and by being honest with ourselves, you know, not lying to people saying like, oh yeah, I lost 5 kilos or whatever the case, right? But I guess, look, what now? Essentially what my plan is that I don't have like a 5-year plan for YouTube or anything. But what I do have is a 1-year plan. I'm going to consistently upload throughout the whole year. That is a non-negotiable that I set myself. I have a Twitter, an Instagram, a TikTok, which I've been posting as well. I was inspired by a guy from the Diary of the CEO, who's a dragon in Dragon's Den. Amazing guy, his name's Stephen Bartlett, and he talks about putting skin in the game, putting yourself out there in the ether, and making a pact with the internet. So what I did is on Twitter I said, from this day forth I'm going to write 1 tweet a day, and that was one of his ideas, and that's something that he did. So I think in essence a lot of the content and stuff that I'm doing, I'm making these pacts with myself, and I'm trying to put them out into the world so that I can't bail out, because it'll have a negative impact on my viewers' perception of me and my reputation and my personal brand, you know. So it's a strong buy-in, and I'm burning the bridge. I'm burning the bridge that's behind me, and I can't retreat, you know, which is another thing I read in another book recently. So yeah, that's one thing. I have a 1-year plan. I'm going to consistently do this. I'm going to keep going, and then at the end of that year I'll reevaluate and see where to go next in regards to the brand and my own business ideas. One of my other things for this plan is not allowing the doubt to ruin my goals and my ambitions. I'm going to keep going. If I have moments of weakness, I'll try and share them with you if I feel comfortable in doing so, but like I'm not going to let that win, and I don't want you to let that win if you're trying to do something positive in your life as well. One of the last things about what now is I just want to continue to make better content. So if you guys like this content, or if you've been watching my shorts, or you've been watching my videos and gravitate to it, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. It makes me feel really amazing, obviously, when I see those numbers go up. It means that, okay, maybe I'm doing the right thing. Maybe people are receptive to this. And if you have any feedback, please drop a comment below. I'll reply to everyone. I'm open to criticism, and I want this to be valuable for you guys as well. I will continue uploading. You'll see another running 30-day challenge tonight, so make sure you check that out. I hope you guys are doing well and chasing your dreams. Keep showing up daily. I'll see you next time. Cheers.